Okay, rolling.
Test, 1, 2.
Hallelujah.
My name is Anna Zayaruznaya, and I'm a music historian. Music is the most ephemeral thing. Music gets older faster than anything else. There's a guy, Johannes Tinctorus, who said in the 1460s that music older than 40 years isn't worth listening to. In the 1460s. And if you think about the music your parents listen to, maybe that's not your music. Music is so tied to the moment in which it's written and first performed. Given that, isn't it crazy that we have music surviving from the Middle Ages? I study music history because it gives us a way to get at aspects of the past that I don't think are available to us through any other means. There's something about music that is linked to the emotions, that's linked to the body, that's linked to the voices that sing it or the instruments that play it. There's something so personal and embodied about music. If you hear that music then, and it sounds so weird, for me that's the moment that's interesting, right? Is to then keep listening and say, okay, well I think that sounds weird, but clearly they thought it was awesome. So what kind of a subject would I need to be to think that this is awesome? And what kinds of insights then can I gain into what it means to be human, what it means to be a listener? Often music manuscripts would get chopped up and they would get used to reinforce other bindings. So you'd have a book from the 17th century or something that would have as part of its binding material a piece of music from the 13th century. And you have to figure out what's been cut off in terms of words and notes and piece it all together. There are a couple of pieces of music that I've reconstructed from the 14th century that once I was done with them, we could sing them in ways that we had never sung them before.
1, 2, 3.
I think that's sort of what it comes down to for me, is to find this music that feels foreboding because it's in a different notation, because it's in these sources that are in these European archives, it's full of wormholes, it's decaying, the pages are falling off, it can be a mess. And to restore it in some sense, to turn it into something that can tell us something about a person who lived once and how they might have experienced the world. What is this music connected to? Is it just a floating song? No, music is always for somebody, from somebody, for some purpose. So what was its purpose? That's one of the things we're doing. But also, it's a question of what we can learn about ourselves.
Theorizing a whole bunch of new pitches, and we have a way to notate really, really fast notes thanks to the Italians. Yes?
This seems very much, as you said, like music about itself.
I hope that my students come out of my classes inspired to listen more carefully, especially when they hear something that they don't like. I never ask anybody to like the things we study. I just ask them to sort of attend to them carefully. And I think the act of attending carefully to something that sounds strange is a life skill.